Hello, welcome to the United Community Channel. This is your match reaction. Everton 0, Manchester United 3. Good professional win. Happy days. And our forwards are scoring goals again, which is great to see. So we're here for the match reaction. We're going to give our reaction to it. We've got some points to talk about. We won't keep you long, maybe 20 minutes or so. But we've got the usual crew in. Chris, Oisín and Ben are there. Good to see you guys, as always. And any channel members, guys, if you are watching and you want to join, the link is on the community tab of the YouTube channel. Please do get involved, but get your thoughts and comments in, anybody that's watching as well. The floor is yours, lads. What did you think? I don't know. Oisín, happy days, I presume.
Yeah, I mean, what a difference a fortnight makes. I mean, this time 2 weeks ago, we were down the dumps and wondering where we were going to go up the season. And then today, I think there's one person that really made it. That's Kobe Mainoo, that controlled bit of the park. He wasn't helped by Fernandes and McTominay, but he didn't need their help. You know, he ran the middle of the park himself, and I think his mentality was the difference between the winning and the losing today. I know the three boys scored, but I think, and I know Garnacho got the man of the match on Sky, but I'm going to kick it off by saying Mainoo got my man of the match just for the way he played today. He was everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I thought he was absolutely phenomenal. Chris, defensively, I was really happy. You know, now obviously, you know, Lindelof didn't have, you know, a particularly good first half. I thought he was really good in the second half. Harry Maguire is just putting in performance after performance. Luke Shaw's back. You know, we see Delo playing well, and then Wan-Bissaka coming on and playing well. All positives, really.
Yeah, I mean, I think all positives. I think Luke Shaw, I mean, like what we talked about, you know, prior, it's like when you're missing Luke Shaw and you're missing those, you know, people are playing out of position, like you said, you get guys back in their right positions. Everybody's comfortable again, you know, and I mean, as much stick as we gave Harry Maguire at the beginning of the year, I can't say enough about him because he's putting in the performances. I mean, he looks comfortable. He looks confident. He looks like he did the first season that we bought him, to be honest. You know, I can't.
Let me ask you. Do you think it has to do with Onana behind him, knowing that he's got a keeper that's okay with sweeping and covering him and getting on the ball himself?
I think that could be it. I mean, I just think that I think not having the armband is a lot less pressure on him. And I think Onana helps, you know, and I'll be honest with you. I think like I got to agree with Oisín is Kobe Mainoo, and I've been asking for him for, you know, the beginning of the season. That's why he started the preseason. Like everybody was excited. Like everybody's like, why is this kid playing? Now you know why he was playing. And I mean, unfortunately he got hurt, but did
he get hurt? Is that why he came off?
No, I'm just saying at the beginning of the year.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. I mean, if we'd be an entirely different spot, I think, if we had Mainoo the majority of the year.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's just calm, cool, collected. Like the guy said, you know, the two Robbies, as I was listening to him, he just doesn't make a bad touch or a bad pass. Not that he's going to, but I think our problem will now be when we face teams like a Newcastle. Can he do that by himself in the midfield? He's going to struggle, I think, a little bit. That's why I think we need to have another midfielder in there, not named McMuffin, to help him out.
Yeah. Well, Ben, I'll go to you while we're talking about Kobe Mainoo, and I mentioned it on the live on the watch along. Surely now he's the kind of player where you're saying he has to start game in, game out. Maybe not game in, game out is probably, you know, a little bit too much for an 18-year-old, but he has to be up there now with a regular starter for Manchester United, surely.
Yeah, of course he does. Certainly good for Casemiro and Amrabat, though, isn't it? If they get a chance now, I've got to play, otherwise I'm not going to play next game. Yeah, Casemiro last season walked into the scene, no one could replace him, but now there's somebody there that can do it, isn't there? So
yeah,
it's only good for us, isn't it? Choices again.
And he looks like the kind of player that can play with any type of midfielder nearly. You know, he could play alongside a Bruno, a Casemiro and Amrabat, as we've seen today, safety whistle, you know, all of these kind of lads. He looks comfortable beside them all.
Yeah, of course he does. I reckon he'll do a job up top as well. Do you know if he played in the Fernandes position? comfortable on the ball, just pinging balls in behind.
I think
so. There's options there, isn't there, with him?
Yeah, I honestly think he's our best box-to-box midfielder option. Like if you have Amrabat, or Casemiro sitting in front of the center backs, just guarding them. I mean, he looks like he can get into space and ping balls to wherever you need him to go. Like he can be that progressive midfielder that we need.
Yeah, but I think that progressive midfielder is nearly more of a deep-lying playmaker, you know. Like, and I think that's why Erik ten Hag was so obsessed with the likes of getting Frankie de Jong in, was because he's the kind of player that can take the ball off of a back four and progress the ball up the field. And I think Kobe Mainoo is just after coming out of nowhere, and Ten Hag is going, fuck Frankie de Jong. I've got Kobe Mainoo. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I mean, I think he's right there. I think he can do that. And I think you don't have to, I mean, I say this nicely, you don't have to waste him and put him defensively in front of the two center backs. I think Casemiro or Amrabat can do that just as well, and just let him play that box-to-box midfielder, deep-lying playmaker. I think he's, like you said, he moves without moving. You know, he's always, if you watch, he's always in a passing lane to get the ball, which is, it's uncanny for an 18-year-old kid to be doing that. I mean, 18, 19, is he 18? I think he's 18. Like, it's ridiculous.
Right. Oisin, I'm going to you first, because what else should we talk about here? Was that goal better than Rooney's?
He's
delaying.
I voted no in the poll, but I'm after watching it now a few times again and watch it side by side with Rooney. And yeah, it's a better goal. It's a better goal. He's moving away from the goal. I think the ball was hung up a bit more. The Nani ball was whipped in, so Rooney just had to just touch it really. Whereas the Dalot ball was kind of hung up, and he kind of had to generate power as well. So I think it was a better goal than Rooney.
So let me rephrase the question, Oisin. Is it a better goal or a more important goal?
It's a better goal.
No, it's a
better goal.
Better
Rooney was way more important.
Yeah. I agree. I know what you mean. Now, Chris, while you're there, the Rooney goal, as you can see, quite clearly comes off of his shin. Is there an argument there to say that, you know, obviously people do slag Rooney, saying, "No, it came off your shin." I think it's more. It's even more talent if you can score an overhead kick like that off of your shin. You know what I mean? Is there any argument there?
Yeah, I don't know if I can. I can't argue that there's shin throw. I mean, as we call it in the States, the good old shin throw. You can't. You know, I mean, I just think the intent was there by Rooney. He mishit it, but I have to go with Garnacho's goal because it's so deliberate that it's just a cracker. I mean, it's just he stuck it in the far post upper corner. Like Pickford, still wondering what happened. You know, and I love it because it happened on Pickford because I can't stand him. Like it's just like, but I mean, his that goal is so deliberate. He didn't think twice about it. He knew what he was going to do.
Oh, yeah.
And he went up and he did it. And I just can't. I mean, I have to say it's a better goal than Rooney's. They're showing
it here again. Jesus Christ!
I'm not happy with the Ronaldo celebration though. I don't know if
fuck him. He's only a young lad. I mean, he moves like 3 or 4 feet backwards to get in position so quickly, and man, it's.
But I'm gonna start a new hashtag as I put it in the chat. Give Garnacho the number 7.
Yeah. Well, look, while we're talking about, you know, number 7s and midfielders and things like that, I want to talk a little bit about the central midfield. Look, because obviously, you know, Mainoo was, you know, fantastic today. He was my man of the match, without a doubt. I think it's harsh probably taking it off of Garnacho because he did play really well, and then obviously he had that wonder goal. But and I don't want to be negative when we win 3-0, but we're still seeing a lack of real what's the word I'm looking for? Like we don't really dictate tempo, and we don't dictate the play an awful lot. And I think it's down to midfield. And obviously, Oisin, you mentioned it there with you know, Mainoo wasn't helped by the likes of McTominay and, you know, Bruno Fernandes. And I think I mentioned it in the live that if you're looking for a possession-based team, I don't think Bruno Fernandes is your man, because he's very creative and he tries a lot of things when he's going forward, and he likes to move the ball quickly rather than, maybe turn and go backwards. I'll go back to you, Oisín. Is the midfield a worry going forward? And is maybe this is the scoreline maybe covering over the fact that, we're still quite weak in that area?
Well, we bypassed midfield for most of the game today. We played from long balls into the corner. Anytime we start the midfield and we see McTominay on the starting lineup, you're in trouble. You're not going to get much out of him. And it's weird because I was watching him during the international break with Scotland, and he seems a different player. So I don't know how that is. But I think we still need that one person, as you said, the Frankie de Jong type, just turning and linking back to front, and we don't have that person yet. Bruno is for all his the good stuff that Bruno does. He's not that kind of a player. McTominay isn't even related to that kind of a player. So we're going to need someone to fill that role going forward. And Amrabat clearly hasn't worked out, and Casemiro has Casemiro has 4 years left, 3.5 years left in his contract.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of football in those legs. So I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't see out his full contract at United, and we need someone
with Casemiro.
With Casemiro,
yeah. Would you be happy with that, Ben? So, like, for Casemiro to stay on? I mean, like, there's been a lot of talk about Varane lately and whether he'd be moved on or not. And I think Varane is a different kettle of fish to Casemiro. I certainly don't think it's time to cash in on Casemiro yet. But in your opinion, what's needed in that midfield? Like, if you put a Casemiro, a Kobe Mainoo, and a Bruno Fernandes, I think it's a midfield that could work.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'd do. You put Casemiro in there today instead of McTominay and say to me, we are box to box, away you go.
Yeah,
I think that's short term answer, isn't it?
Yeah, and would you maybe put would you sign Amrabat on a permanent deal as a squad player, or do you think maybe he hasn't done enough to garnish that kind of a deal?
He hasn't yet. Well, see how the season goes. If Casemiro stay in, I'd sign him because you've got him. There's a number there, aren't you, to do a job?
Yeah. Well, Chris, I go to you because the emergence of Kobe Mainoo, and again, it's been one game, so look, I don't want to get too carried away here, but Mason Mount must be going, oh, bollocks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah. I 100%. I don't see how Mount gets in unless he's going to play right wing. I don't see how Mount gets into the team. I mean, unless you're going to give Bruno a rest or someone like that, because I agree with the boys. I think it's Casemiro and Mainoo, and then you play Bruno, and then you have your three attackers at that point. Unless you put Mount on one of the wings, I don't see how he fits in the team. I mean, we're going to have a month without him anyway, so it's only going to get worse for him. And at this point, I wouldn't want to sell Casemiro unless you're going to get some kind of stupid money for him. But then you got to bring somebody else in. I mean, you got to bring someone else, like they were talking about the Ampadu Onana guy, a play breaker or someone like that. But I mean, if you think back to early preseason, it was Casemiro and Mainoo, and we were clicking and we were playing well at the beginning of preseason. It's just when Mainoo got hurt in that game, everything kind of went to crap.
Yeah.
And I just think he's far beyond his years. I mean, let's just be honest. Like, even in one game, I mean, everybody talks about, you're playing in Everton. Everton's, even though they're a bottom club right now, they weren't until they got to -10. They were a mid-table team. For him to come in there and play away and do what he did, and just, it looked like he's not phased at all. Like, no bad touches, it's amazing. And it's just, you look at it and you go, I give him the 18 shirt straight away. Here you go. Give him the 18 shirt.
Well, do you know what I was thinking today, right? And there was a couple of times where he's so composed on the ball, and in our recent history, we are not used to that.
Nope.
And I was going, what? Jesus, pass it quicker, but he's just in control. He's years above his
all of his touches go in the right direction.
Yeah,
like, he never
he's
takes
always,
a touch
he's
in
always
the
in
pressure.
space.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's why I said give him. I mean, and I honestly think if you have a deep defensive midfielder like Amrabat or Casemiro playing in front of it, he can play. I think he can play the Paul Scholes role where, because he's going to be able to move through the midfield. You saw it. He just glides. I mean, and I hate to put this on him, but he kind of glides Pogba-esque in a good way. Like he just, I'm just saying he.
Right. Thank you. Good night.
But no, I mean, when he has the ball, he glides. There's no wasted movement in the kid.
Yeah.
Where when he takes touches, you see guys take 3 or 4 touches and they're still in the same spot.
Yeah. Well, what I like about him is that he actually goes forward as much as he possibly can. It reminds me of Michael Carrick nearly that way, where every pass is nearly forward, if at all
100%.
possible.
Jeez, that's what are you doing to Pogba and Carrick?
Oh, sorry, go on. Huh?
Hey,
what are you doing to the poor lad, Pogba and Carrick, into one sentence?
Scholes first, I just said, he glides like him. I mean, Pogba's
like
the only guy I've seen.
He plays like Scholes, and he looks like Michael Carrick. No, that's not. We're going to have to rejig that one a little bit, I think. I want to move it on, guys. A couple of other players I want to mention. First of all, Andre Onana. I think he's really, really starting to come into his own at Man United. And I think, I have down here a clean sheet again. We've had a few clean sheets, and I think in no small part is down to him. Oisin, I'll go to you on it. And like, would you kind of sign up to the fact that, the likes of Harry Maguire and the defense in general is much improved because we've got this kind of sweeper where I think it's nearly as if, because I obviously played in defense, and when you've got a keeper behind you that's going to cover you well, you're kind of not as jittery and you feel more confident. Surely that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, 100%. And I would go as far to say that the reverse is also true. When he first started, we didn't have a settled back two in front of him. It was chopping and changing with injuries. But the last few games now, we've had Maguire and Lindelof there as a unit, and they've kind of developed an understanding. So now he knows who's in front of him, what to expect. That allows him to concentrate in his part of the game that he knows he needs to, and allows Maguire and Lindelof to concentrate in their game as well. They know that they have him behind them. So I think that for all the good that Onana has done Maguire, I think having a settled two in front of Onana has helped him as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. Any uptakes on that, Ben? Like, he's starting to come into his own, really, isn't it? We're seeing the kind of, with players coming back like Luke Shaw now as well, that we can actually start playing the ball out from the back with the likes of Onana and these guys who are comfortable. And I think Maguire as well is comfortable on the ball. Or maybe not comfortable on the ball, but he's comfortable playing out from the back.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. They all complement each other, don't they? So, like you say, Varane's got to be a worried boy, hasn't he?
Jesus, yeah. I mean, he was on the bench today, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Would you sell him in January if you can get some money for him?
Yeah.
If the price is right, he's got to, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got to go, hasn't he?
Yeah, but then you got
the same as we've said, if he's not playing, he's not going to be happy. He wants to go and play football, doesn't he? No hard feelings. You've done what you needed to do. Cheers, and go and get a young lad in.
Yeah.
But we have to get a young lad in, though, if we sell him.
Yeah.
Because you got to have the cover. I mean, you got to, whether it's Totable or whoever it is, you got to bring someone in because you can't go, if you sell Varane, then, Martinez comes back. And that's the other question. When Martinez comes back, what happens? Does he take Lindelof's place?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just, you look at that and then it's just, I think that the only thing that I can say is what hurts us right now is that I wish that Maguire could play on a higher line on defense, and we don't press enough because we can't play that higher line. We're a block off because of our center backs at this point. I think we'd be clicking on all cylinders if we could play that higher line, because then we could have pressed and maybe dominated a little bit more the ball, because you're not letting them come at you all as much. And that's what our problem is right now, is that when we play, we have to play we don't necessarily play a low block, but it's kind of like in the middle where teams are constantly coming after us, like coming, like onslaughts where we're not pressing at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the big problem, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Finally, I want to talk a little bit, just really quickly, about Marcus Rashford, because, again, another poor performance. Now, look, obviously, he got his goal. Bruno Fernandes actually said, supposedly in his interview, I think Reece said it here, he said, Bruno saying that he gave it to Marcus to raise his confidence, and you think it did work. He played better after that. He did. He played better in the second half, but I think nowhere near as good as he should be at. Oisín, I mean, what more do we need to do to get Marcus Rashford back anywhere near what he was like? I'm nearly at the stage where I'm thinking, is Rashford actually even a good player, or am I being too harsh?
Oh wow.
That's a bull. How long you got?
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and thinking you're going to get a different outcome. He just runs at lads aimlessly into dead ends and keeps doing it.
Well, I don't think he knows what his role is in the team now, because last year he was the goal scorer. He was getting the ball cutting in, whereas now it seems like he's being told to get to the byline and whip it in, and he can't seem to do that. We were only saying it a couple of weeks ago that that's what we were looking for him to do, to supply Højlund, and obviously today to supply Martial, but I don't think he can do that. And he absolutely hates playing out on the right. He just doesn't do it. I mean, even in the first half of the day when he was on the right, he wasn't tracking back. There was players running off, and he was just letting everyone go past him. And Delo then was in trouble because of that. They pinned Delo back on our right hand side. He moved to the left in the second half. He improved a bit, but even after the penalty, I think after the penalty, and it kind of stuck in my memory because I said the same thing as Reece said, that Bruno gave him the penalty to up his confidence and get him kicking. But the first thing he did after the penalty was give the ball away easily, and the boys came on an attack. So what do we do? Do we rest? Look, he's not going to play during the week because he's in Europe. Do we leave him at home and just leave him kind of try and get the head right? He had, by all accounts, he kind of made up with the girlfriend over the weekend. Was that playing on his mind? So I don't know.
I think there was a picture I seen where he's broken up with her like 2 or 3 times or something like that. And every time he's had a poor goal scoring season is when he's been broken up with her. So.
Right. Okay. Who said footballers were superstitious, huh?
There you go. But Chris, any uptake on that? Like, I mean,
is he
like
playing?
he is going to have a rest now midweek. He's not going to be involved because he's suspended. So
yeah, I mean, I don't think he even goes. I mean, I don't think he travels at this point.
No.
But at the same time, like, yeah, can I say that can I honestly say he's playing as well as he did last season? No. But I mean, Jack, you murdered him on that one where he gave it away on the touchline when he had 2 guys on him. The guy was on his back, and there was a second guy coming, and for some reason, he doesn't have the ball, and Delo's already overlapped him. Like, Delo can't do that. You can't. Marcus has his back to Everton's goal, and you're already overlapping him. He's got nowhere to go with the ball. I mean, that's as much Delo's fault as anything on that one. Like, I didn't agree with that, but like, is he playing well? No, but let's be honest. Like, if Garnacho doesn't score that goal today, did he really play that well? Like, we're not going after guys. Like, we're not playing through those guys anymore. Like, I think ultimately in the attacking third, like even you said it, like when Manu gets the ball, nobody moved in the attacking third. Nobody made a run. Nobody did any, and that's our problem. Like, even when Rashford or Garnacho get the ball, no one really makes it. Everybody waits to see what they're going to do. Like, it's like, okay, well, is he going to go to the end line and then cross it? Or, I still think we're lost in the attacking third and what our identity is. And I think it hurts everybody. I mean, because I think even Garnacho today, yes, he had the worldly goal and everything like that. And he went after a couple players, but he lost the ball a couple times that were, let's just be honest. Like, let's call it fair. I mean, our wingers are not playing fantastic. I mean, even though they both scored today, I just think that in the offensive third, we're lost, like, as a group. Yeah. And I don't know if that's because we're not playing through the midfield or we're going directly out. But, I mean, and you watch them, Rashford, like on the goal to Garnacho, he's on the touchline. Ball comes out to him. Below comes inverted winger or inverted fullback comes through, and he plays him through, and then below crosses it. I mean, is that what you're looking for? What do you want him to do from that position? I mean,
all right, calm down.
But I mean, I think he's getting a little. I think it's a little unfair on him, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying he's playing fantastic, though. I mean, he's got to play better, and there's got to be more effort. But I just
maybe we're just being a little bit too harsh on him as well, because he had such a bad season, or has had such a great season last year, that, you know, if it is going to be a drop in performance, you know, it's going to be compared to that, you know, more than anything else. But anyway, lads, look, I think we'll leave it there, because I think I can hear a screaming child in the other room, and I'm going to get fucking ate if I don't go out and give a hand. But anyway, look, I appreciate you coming on as always. And look, we've only the games are coming thick and fast. We've got Galatasaray in 3 days' time, then Newcastle, then Chelsea 3 days later, Bournemouth, and then Bayern Munich. So they're coming thick and fast.
Turkey's going to be tough. Tough.
Very tough. Very tough.
You know, we've never won in Turkey.
Yeah, I know, but we've only lost once though, and we've drew twice. So, you know what I mean?
PSG part 2.
Exactly. That's what I like to hear. And hopefully today will give us a bit of confidence anyway. But look, lads, I appreciate you coming on as always. I'm sure I'll see you on Wednesday night as usual. And to anyone for watching, please smash a like on the video, hit subscribe if you're new. If you want to come on like the guys do, they're official channel members. Link is in the description. Any channel member can come on. I think the majority of people are probably afraid of the tree now because you're on so often.
Scaring them off.
Any channel member is welcome to come on, guys. If you do want to come on, you're more than welcome. But thanks, guys.
We need to do the TikTok thing where you do the stash and we can put it on people as they come on.
Yeah, well, okay. I'll see what I can do. I'll Google it. But lads, look, I appreciate it. I'll see you Wednesday. And thanks to everybody for watching as well. I'll chat to you soon. Take it easy.
Take it easy, guys.